especially offensively. It looked like you got a lot of good looks, but stuff just didn't fall sometimes. But overall, were there good indicators in this game for you to take and move forward?
Yeah, good question. Interesting. There was certainly some looks there. I mean, I'll go back to that New Zealand game. We talked previously, and we had 12 shots at the rim inside 3 feet, 9 of them not contested. We missed them, 12. 7 wide open looks from three-point line uncontested, no one with a hand up. We missed them. It's a little similar today in some patches, but I think the difference between the two games was there was an energy at times defensively, and we made plays down the stretch defensively, and we kept them to 1 shot for the majority of the game, which was important. And I think that's the variations between the two games and the results. Were they good signs? Yeah, we kept them off second shots. You know, they're a big front line, so you know it takes a manful effort for an undersized guy like Creaky to be able to front up for so many minutes on the floor against bigger bodies and continue to bench press them while he's, you know, coming off a pretty hectic road schedule. So it's some good signs there for us. As you could have seen with Joe and with Trey, you know, there's still some miles to run into their legs. So we've still got a long way to go as far as where we're at, as far as being a top-notch team.
How would you assess how settled you guys looked offensively as far as not forcing anything? When they hit you with a zone, you guys look pretty calm and collected and got the ball inside, didn't jack up threes, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Look, we can be better than that. I thought tonight when guys got to the end of their rotation, I thought we took a few shortcuts, particularly early in the game, where we were struggling from an offensive standpoint. We cut our offense off a little early, and then maybe shot selection wasn't so great. So there's still some development there. And again, it's going to grow with time on the floor together and getting some healthy bodies out there.
You were clearly angry with the way the offense was going in that second quarter. Do you feel as though they, responded to what you were asking for after that?
Yeah. No, I think most of my frustration or anger was probably directed at the defensive end of the floor. I thought we were bland and vanilla and beige, and we didn't bring a lot of colour to it. I thought, particularly down the stretch, there was some good stuff. They hit some hell of shots down the stretch, to give themselves a chance. All the credit to them, but I thought we contested those well. I thought that trap and the steal and Rowdy at the end there was a huge play for us. There was a 90-second passage there just before half-time where we turned it on, and I thought that maybe ignited a little something in the team.
Was it the 2 offensive fouls that Mitch drew in that period? It's pretty crucial against the 2 bigs.
A little bit after that, but yeah, they were big plays. And that's one of Creaky's best games, I think. Honestly, it's he carried us. He led us, and he took us over the line tonight. It was a heroic effort on both sides of the ball. Nobody knows what this guy's going through right now. He's not on the floor at all. To butter up after the game. I mean, we were lucky we won pretty comfortably in New Zealand, and we were able to get him a bit of rest. But we didn't have the next day. We're sitting in the lounge because his bloody flight's delayed a couple of hours, and he won't get back till last night, so he doesn't get the treatment that he needed at that point. And to play the way he did today was as good a game as I've seen him play.
Creaky, given the interrupted pre-season you've had, or lack of pre-season you've had, how do you explain your playing this well? I mean, you just seem so locked in offensively like right now, especially on the interior. What do you put that down to? Is this just a natural maturation in your game, or something more?
He's well rested.
Yeah, I'm not training, I'll tell you that much. It's a culmination of just repetition and work, and as Simon said, I'm not training during the week at all. I'm just literally training maybe a day before the game, and that's about it. And I'm trying to manage through, and we're trying to manage our loads and stuff, and we talk to each other, and we've got a good relationship. Everyone knows that, but it's trying to find the right balance, and it's the same offensively and it's the same defensively. It's not just one-sided for me. you lose your voice almost because you're trying to like help everyone. You're trying to like, tell guys to pick up. You're telling guys to box out matchups, play call. You're looking at Sime, trying to make all these. I'm not even thinking about, oh, my game's looking pretty good. Like, I feel like I'm playing pretty shitty the last couple of games. Like, I didn't feel in New Zealand I played a phenomenal game. I thought I started well, but I made some shots and, I didn't get some calls. I thought I was going to draw and I made some lucky shots. And, I thought other guys are playing a great role and we're all just understanding what's required. Having guys back healthy is one thing, and healthy enough to contribute at a high level. Like, I think Gary's playing a great game. I think Kizza came in tonight and, he struggled a little bit, but then, he was able to make plays, and at the right time, guys are making plays, and it makes it easier for me because, you got Rowdy, Kizza, and Alan you can't help off in the paint, and Gary, like, who are you meant to help off? Like, that's a good question, and every team's got it, but we're starting to figure it out. So, I don't know, man. Honestly, like, I'm not shooting anything that's too crazy. Like, I think the most I take is 1 or 2 dribbles at a time, and there's times where I try and overthink and I make silly plays. I threw one straight out of bounds when you got a simple post up or just making reads. And I've been in the system for my 4th year with Sime. Like, it's like I don't have to train during the week to know the offense better than anyone else. And if there's anything changes, he talks to me. And yeah, at the end of the day, I trust him and he trusts me to go out there and give him an effort. And that's all I'm trying to do.
Talk to me about what Gary Brown's given you guys so far in 2 games. I don't know if he's still getting up to speed, but he's had 20 assists in those 2 games already. And, a guy who seems just completely unselfish and wanting to make sure his offense is ticking as best as it can be. How important is that for you guys?
Yeah, look, when your point guard plays 25 minutes, has 11 assists, he has 3 turnovers, but some of those are unforced from us not really making the right plays. And
2 of them you stepped out of bounds.
yeah, like literally, like it's one turnover to 11 assists. That's a bloody good ratio. But like has 7 points. But when the time came, the one thing I said to him is, "Go be a gangster." Like, there's certain words I said I can't repeat now, but like I told him to get going in a very different way and just said, "This is your moment. Like, relish it. Like, I'll have my moments, you have yours. This is yours right now." And he came out and I said, "Go get on an island and put him on prime time." And he went out there and did that. The play before that, he tried to do a little bit too much and try and help other people. And I was like, well, this is your moment. To have someone like that, like, we have a thing every time we see each other, whether it's been passing or what, we give each other a big hug because we met in Puerto Rico. We had a respect straight away. We came in here and I said, "You're away from your family. You're the furthest away from anyone." So I was like, if I can give you a big hug, then, let me know and I'll give you one. And we started hugging each other. And little things like that now create a chemistry where I can tell him something on the court, the right way, the wrong way, aggressively, passively, my arm around him, and he's going to respond with whichever way with love. So we trust each other. He trusts us right now, and he's going to. We saw him a little bit in Darwin. That man was dangerous, and now he's starting to get that little pep in his step. I can't wait to play with him because, what are you meant to guard? For us, it's just defense, and defense is everything right now. And Simon's doing a great job of that. Craig's doing a mighty effort. Shout out Craig and all the coaching staff and all the boys for buying in.
Coach, on the back of that, there's something I think you may be lacking last season, which is when the offense isn't clicking, someone who can just go and create something almost out of nothing. How can you point to Brown's impact? How can you describe his impact on the floor when maybe things aren't going well and he can go and assert himself and be that creator for you guys?
Yeah, look, we probably haven't had that guy since we've been here. We've had point guards who certainly could create, but mostly probably shoot first. John and Xavier, and I thought Kiefer probably had that balance a little bit more. And I feel like Gary's got that balance as well. It's funny, like 3.5 to go. I think, come on, man, time to go in there, and he says to me, he's like, "Oh, Kiz is doing really well." It's like, this is your team, man. Drive us home. And he's like, I got you. Let me get you this. And it just, you could see, it switched him on, and he went out there and he drove us home. And that's what you want out of your prime time point guard. I didn't think he had a particularly great game tonight, but he had a great ending to the game. I thought early he got caught going under on a few. Jace Kadee hit some threes on him. And, these are just some fatigue things because he hasn't got his legs to him just yet. And you see that fatigue down the stretch. He was tremendously focused, and that's what we need. Everyone saw us. We were laid bare last year, and down the stretch of games, we really struggled to close them out. We were in a position to win just about every one of them, and we struggled to close them out. But now we got that guy who's built for that.
How much of your stress levels dropped, considering you have a ton of bodies out there now? You can look down at bench.
Shout out Lokahi Wellness.
Yeah, no,
Floats as
big
well.
time. Yeah, no, I'm in there on Monday.
Lokahi Wellness out in Kilsyth.
Absolutely,
Giving him
everybody get there.
floats and brain taps.
That's my
The
thing
red
right
eyes
now.
are starting to go white.
No, I
and the
haven't
bags
slept.
are just turning to little mini tea
The red
bags.
eyes are there because I haven't slept since we left for New Zealand, let alone coming back. Look, it's a tough league. Everybody's stressed. We got a team that's 0-4 coming into our gym. We're fatigued. We had a flight from New Zealand. We were delayed. The preparation was just awful. Had every excuse in the book. So your stress levels are high. You're looking guys in the eyes. Are they ready to go? And you think they are, and you see some guys out there, and they're clearly not. It's just that adds to the stress. That's the game. That's professional sport. Everybody deals with it. But I've got some people in Kilsyth who are looking after me right now. So good.
Mitch, when you look at the roster, just down to the 7th, 8th, 9th man, is this the maybe most talented or very much the deepest roster that you've been on? Or perhaps your best chance?
Damn, Adelaide team was good.
Yeah, we had some gangsters in Adelaide, but most of the guys we played with tonight were there. In the Phoenix, look, I honestly I could almost argue that team now, like the team we have now, is one of the best I've played with. And the thing is, we're not even really playing well. Like, we're really not. And I think our frustration as a team and as the coaches comes from we can be so bloody good, but we sometimes choose to just have dumbass moments. And we overcomplicate it, we overthink it, we try and do too much when the simple play, the simple execution is what's most effective. And it's anyone's night. Like, I wasn't the one making the winning shot at the end. Like, they sit heavy on me, Rowdy makes a big play. We're calling guys numbers and asking for guys to step up in moments. And that's what's special about teams. When you can look at other guys and say, hey, this is your moment, and they take it, and then they execute that moment, that's when you look around the group and everyone starts to do this, like, yeah, okay, like, this is something special. And everyone talks about having special teams, championship of basketball, that crap. Like, it's just a feeling you have, naturally occurring. You can't force it, and we're starting to feel it. But defensively is where we have to hang our hat, and I think that's all we have to focus on. So is this one of the best defensive teams we can put on the floor I've been a part of? Yes. Not as a whole, maybe not, but I think defensively we've got everything we need to take care of business, but we just got to focus on that first.
Simon, do you feel like in some respects your season's kind of just starting
Yep.
now? You've kind of got a full roster, you've got 2 games that you can go and take on now with everyone there. And,
Yep.
Yeah, so it's like, what sort of confidence does that give you in terms of how good this team can be then?
Look, we're going to face different challenges now moving forward. Like, I feel like we're a week into pre-season. We've got all the bodies here. We're trying to work things out. We've got guys who aren't fit, and that kind of helps me in a way with regards to rotations. And then we're going to get guys who are fit and be like, hey, I'm ready to go. Coach, it's my time. And be like, yeah, hold it. So these are going to be challenges we're going to have to face. They're good challenges. It beats the crap out of the challenges we've had the first 3 games where I'm looking down the bench and I'm like, I got no one to go in. But I like the feel in this group. I think there's a real sacrifice that guys are willing to make. But we don't know yet. We're going to be tested, so we'll have to wait and see. Next week's going to be as good as any. We head off to Perth, come back, and going to play Adelaide at home, 36 hours later.
Sick.
So, is Trey okay? Looked a bit ginger walking off the court tonight.
Yeah, he got a hit, Corky. Well, he's American, so it's a Charlie horse. Yeah, he's going to be okay. I think he's just a little drab because his Padres lost to the Phillies today.
Don't say that. Don't watch his Trey.
Yep, there's nothing from Zoom, so all good.
Sick.
All right. Thanks, guys.